बुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। हरि ओम्। All right. Hari Om, everybody. Thank you for that very warm welcome. And tonight we are going to see a new chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We have more children here today than we have adults. And the topic that is going on right now is something that generally children don't require a lot of background. So I will do my best to explain, and you listen, all the children, you listen as well as you can, and you see what ideas you can pick up. You don't have to pick up everything, but if you can pick up one or two things, that is good. And then you go home, and your job is to ask your parents, Mom, Dad, you quiz them. I remember this one sentence, this one line, this one story, like that. Can you explain it to me? And then you check and see if what they explained to you is correct. Because you were also here now. You also heard. So you will have knowledge also, right? So you can go home and quiz your parents. You understand? So you listen for something. Once it makes sense to you, you remember and go home and ask your who? Right. And if they don't know, what will you tell them? You should come to satsang. Why are you sending me alone? You should come next time. That's what you tell them. Alright? So, we are in chapter which? 7. Right? Or maybe you count like that. 7. And Bhagavad Gita is one of the texts we have in Hinduism. You know, in Hinduism, we have many, many different books. Did you know that? Raise your hand if you knew that. Oh, okay. Well, you didn't know. The amount of books that we have to help each person grow and become better and become realized, the amount of knowledge we have, if you fill this whole mandir with shelves, put up shelves all around and in between and all that, it still wouldn't hold a number of books. You'd have to fill the whole village with books. That's how much we have. Because it goes back tens of thousands of years. So many saints and sages. Okay. Now, see, these books that have been brought here, they're all in English for you. So there'll be a whole set of books in English, and a whole set of books in French, and a whole set of books in Spanish. In all languages, those books will be there. So that will make it double and triple, isn't it? Like that. No end. And then, so many different types of books. Some have come straight from the minds of rishis. Great seers have caught ideas from the universe and penned them down in Sanskrit. Some are records of history, like Ramayana, that you'll be knowing. You've ever heard of the Ramayana? Ramayana is a story containing the life of Bhagavan Sri Ram. And there are many different accounts of Bhagavan Ram's life. So like that, there are many. So one such book is called Bhagavad Gita. Say that? So today at satsang, you came to a Bhagavad Gita satsang. You didn't go to a Ramayana satsang. You didn't go to Bhagavatam satsang. You didn't go to just singing bhajan satsang. You went to which? Bhagavad Gita satsang. That means the talk was about something from that book, Bhagavad Gita. Now what is that book? Is it about Lord Rama? Is it about Hanumanji? Well, it is about Lord Krishna, who you see here. It is about Lord Krishna. Actually, it's not about him. Lord Krishna is telling his close friend Arjuna some advice. He's giving Arjuna advice. You ever do that? Mom and dad, they do give advice to your Kua and your Chachi and all that. On the phone, they're always giving advice. And they're giving advice to you all the time, isn't it? And then you go to school and you catch your friend and you give advice to your friend, isn't it? You ever give advice to your friend? It may not be good advice. Hey, Jukshina. Jukshi, let's see what will happen. That's bad advice. But you're always giving some. So, but when Lord Krishna is going to give advice, you think it'll be bad advice? No, it'll be good advice. And you have to give advice. Well, actually, it's more than advice to you. Arjuna asks Lord Krishna, you please teach me, I'm going to be your Shishya. Shishya means disciple. So if there's a disciple, like your best friend, riding buddy and all that, that's your disciple? No. That's your friend, so you talk to him anyhow. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Friends talk like that, right? But the Guru doesn't talk. The Guru gives advice and the Shishya listens. And listens as well as he can so he can gain some knowledge. So Lord Krishna is acting as Guru to Arjuna. And where do you think they are? Are they in the living room? Are they in the market? Where are they? They're on a battlefield, right? Battlefield. That, like, you can imagine some movie you have seen, or some show you have seen. You ever seen a war? In cartoon and all that? Battlefield is going on. Right there in the middle of the battlefield, Arjuna had a problem. Now that was way back in chapter 1, he had that problem, eh? And then in chapter 2, Lord Krishna starts giving advice. And that advice has been going on like that for chapter, up until 6 chapters have gone. And there are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. How many? 18. 1-8. So we are in starting chapter 7. Now if you're good at maths, tell me, how many 6s go into 18? 6 have passed. 2 6s is? 3 6s is? 19? Oh, sorry, right, 18. 3 6s is 18. That means you can put 3 6s sections into Bhagavad Gita. 6, 6, 6. Well, the great rishis and saints and sages who have studied this text and revealed its meaning to us have explained that actually Bhagavad Gita has 3 themes. Like, you know, when you watch a show or read a book, you ever read a series? Like Harry Potter has a series, or Diary of Wimpy Kid, I think is all kind of books, they have series. Shows have series, season 1, season 2. You know what I'm talking about? Season 3, right? So it's the same story, but every season something new is happening, isn't it? So like that, 1 season has finished. First 6 chapters. Now season 2 is about to start. So you're joining right at the beginning of a new set of episodes, like that. A new set of chapters. So what happened in season 1 in the first 6 chapters? Well, what went on there? That whole section, the Rishis say, generally dealt with Arjuna, the individual person. You. The problems that individual beings like you and I have. Chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, was about our sorrow and desperation. You get into sorrow when you come home and you thought you were going to have cricks and jam and butter and cheese, and you realize, nah, Karaila. Well then, oh, this is the worst day of life. How I'll make it through? I don't see how I'll make it through this day. So that's childhood life. See, a child loses his car, his favorite red and white sports car that he's had since he was a little boy. He loses that thing one day when he goes to town. He brought it with him. He didn't know where he was going, what he was doing. He was just following along with his parent all day in the back seat. Zoom, 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 like that. Then, when he's going home now, he's just going over the bridge to get to East Berbice, and he realizes, where's my car? Well, for the rest of his boyhood days, he will reminisce about that. You know, this is a new car, but my car, man, when you roll it, it goes like that. Eventually he grows up and he doesn't care about it anymore. But then he buys his own real red and white sports car. And he goes driving, and one day he drives it into the trench. Too fast, he was going around the curve. And he cries again, you know. Oh, I lost my car. Now look carefully here. Please look carefully here. The same intensity of sorrow that the little boy had is the same intensity of sorrow that the big man had, correct or not? You cannot say to the boy that no, the big man's tears are more intense than your tears. Correct? They're both feeling the same amount of sorrow. Just because he's a big man and he has big toys, he cries like a little baby only, isn't it? Then when he gets older, and he becomes an old man and all that, he cries over something else. So crying. So like that, Arjuna's a big man. And when we say he was a big man, not just as a big man, but he was big in society. The most handsome, the most powerful, the strongest, everything you can imagine. Most capable. He could shoot a bow and arrow with this hand or with this hand without looking. He could hit the, he could have hit an ant off a mango and not touch the mango. With both hands without looking. He's the best of the best. And he also, big man with all that capability, was brought to his knees by some life situation in front of him. He was about to lose something that was his. So he sought advice, and then Lord Krishna gave the best. So next chapter now, chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, Lord Krishna gives knowledge. Lord Krishna doesn't touch Arjuna and say, oh Arjuna, now I have blessed you and you'll be better. Lord Krishna gives him something to know. And that knowledge was supposed to remove his sorrow. Very interesting thing. When you feel sorrow, you want somebody to open a textbook and start to give you knowledge? Nah. But really, that's what you need. You don't know something, that's why you're sad. Like they say, Christopher Columbus, he was, correct me if I'm wrong, Italian, correct? You know? And then the Italian government wouldn't give him a boat because they said, no, if you go and you'll go over the edge of the earth if you try and find India. So then he went to another, I think the Spanish, and he got a boat and he came to the West Indies in 1492. I had to learn that in school. One day you'll learn it also. And so he discovered West Indies. Christopher Columbus, they say. Right? Can you imagine his mother? When he sets sail and he goes past the horizon, everybody in Europe thought the earth was flat. Like this. The earth is flat or the earth is round? Round. But everybody in Europe, not Sanatanis, we knew. We have Shastra going way back. But they thought the earth was. So now, his mother also thought the earth was. So she's seeing her son go off on a boat. Even the Italian government doesn't believe him. And he thinks the earth is round. Well, when she sees him past the horizon, she'll start to cry or not? Well, that's it, one down. I lost one son. Real tears, a mother will cry. Now, if someone now opens a book and explains it, oh Mata, this Christopher Columbus, son of yours, he is just going to go make a big circle. He didn't go over the edge, so you have nothing to cry about. Will that work? It's correct, but it's not going to work because she's consumed in sorrow. Like that, the knowledge that Lord Krishna gave, the most fundamental knowledge that will remove sorrow permanently from everybody and give them oneness with the universe, that knowledge went way over Arjuna's head. He didn't get it. So then in chapter 3, Karma Yoga, Lord Krishna gives Arjuna all the different things he can do so that he makes his mind ready to understand what was already taught in chapter 2. Karma Yoga. See now, who needs knowledge? You and I. Who needs to purify our mind? You and I. It's all about us so far. Then in chapter 4, Lord Krishna went on to explain about how this knowledge has come down and how Bhagavan takes avatara. Bhagavan takes a form. You all know this word very well, but you say avatar. You know what is an avatar in a video game? What is an avatar? Yeah, I can see all you have the answer on your tongue, but you're too frightened. So the word is avatar. Say that. Avatar. The word is avatar. If you want to sound like you don't know anything, you can say avatar. But that sounds like you didn't have proper upbringing. Avatar. Bhagavan takes your outside of the game, but you take a manifestation inside the game and do things. But really you come down and do something. Well, Bhagavan comes down and does something to bring balance back to the universe. But he does it for who? You and I. And who caused the problem? You and I. So that's about us also. So all, like what my point is, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 have all been about us. Chapter 5 also, Arjuna has a question about renunciation, and Lord Krishna answers that question and says that you must be a renunciate in your mind that will prepare you for meditation. And all this knowledge I have given you, let me strengthen it now, teach you how to strengthen it with the process of meditation. He teaches that in chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. And like that, 6 chapters have gone. All about Arjuna and solving his problem. Now it is as though before Arjuna could ask, Lord Krishna begins telling him something about himself. In the last verse of chapter 6, Bhagavan starts telling him about himself. Now, for the children who are here, you have some idea of Bhagavan. That's here in front of you. This is the Lord. And since childhood, your parents would have bringing you to mandir, and you have been doing some worship, and you might have questions in your mind. You might have questions in your mind about Bhagavan. Well, this chapter is meant to explain all those questions away. That's what it does. And it's actually not this chapter, 6 chapters are there. The next 6 chapters are not about the individual being, it is about the Lord, generally speaking. Okay. Now, we have all kinds of already misconceptions in our mind about Bhagavan. Let me ask you a question, right? If there are 2 children, how many? And they are both studying for what you call CXC? No, what's before CXC? Exams, right? Exams. And one of them has been gallivanting and not studying and all that kind of thing. But they come to Monday all the time. And a week before the exam, 1 week before, they start praying to Mother Saraswati like anything. They keep in fast. Every day they're smoking up the house with agarbatti, ringing bell, doing arati, all that kind of thing. And what do you think they're praying to Mother Saraswati for? When they clasp their hand, what they say? Please, like that, right? And they might be making some bargain also. If you just let me pass, I don't need to pass with high marks, you know. At this point, I'm ready to pass. If you just let me pass, I promise I will give you agarbatti, more agarbatti. Right? Sincere, tears rolling down also like that. And then the other child doesn't go Monday. Doesn't believe in Saraswati too. But come home, does their homework, study, revises, attends class, all that kind of thing. When the day of the exam comes, between the two of them, what will happen? First of all, who will pass? Who says student number 1 will pass? With all his prayers and agarbatti and everything. Who said they might pass? Maybe. Maybe Saraswati will bless them. Maybe. Who says student number 2 will pass? The one who studied properly. Some people not answering. Well, I can guarantee you, if you don't study, you won't pass. How do you pass exams? You study. Bhagavan, Devi Ma Saraswati is not going to let you take a shortcut and not study and pass. No chance. In fact, she will make sure you fail. Wait a minute, let me go back. Wait. If I can't pray to Mother Saraswati for knowledge, what use is that prayer then? Someone should, see, he has his favorite vehicle. Mom, where's Mom? Otherwise, everybody will be distracted the whole time. You know? Where's Mommy? Everybody's eyes will be here. He found the most comfortable spot also. Right. He doesn't know nothing. If we are there, we have to show him where to sit, what to do when you come to Monday. That's why you have to, slowly they will learn, okay, this is where I sit, this is how I behave, while satsang is going on, I'm not supposed to move, I'm not supposed to get up, all that kind of thing. If the elders don't show, the children will know, it's not their fault. Right. But all the other children are sitting very nicely, and that is amazing. That means good elders have been here. Right. So all of this is to say, what is the point of prayers if it's not going to let me pass? And for the adults who are here, what is the point of prayers if I can't, is by the same token all other things, eh? Bhagavan's going to make sure you get, Lakshmi Ma's going to make sure you get money on your new venture, if you come into a prayer before you start your new venture. Did Elon Musk pray to Lakshmi and that's why he's the richest man in the world? No. So how does this thing work? If I can't get education, if I can't get well, and it goes on, if I can't get help by coming and just doing prayer, what's the use of prayer? Useless. See, we have to be brave, and the young people are brave. They will ask. At that point, we have to have a good answer. If you give some wishy-washy answer, all these nice children will say, okay, thank you, auntie. But in the back of their head, that doesn't make sense. And when they become adults, they're not going to repeat that to their children. And in one generation, the whole thing will collapse. And I'm already seeing it down on the East Coast. You come to a Monday, there's 3 children. in a big, big village. Because of this reason, the next generation is intellectually allergic to things that don't make sense. They take it, and at some point they break out in like an intellectual rash, and I don't want this thing. But the whole time we've been feeding something they're allergic to. Now the thing is, of all the traditions on the planet, ours has the best answers for all these things. But to find somebody and get the right answer. If you don't know, you have to say, I don't know. Those are the best 3 words. I don't know. You don't make up something. So what is the answer then? It goes like this. Bhagavan already blessed everybody nicely with the capacity to achieve everything. So Bhagavan's already there in your life and in the 18th life to study and dedicate themselves and learn. So the method for gaining anything is already there in the world. If you want to be wealthy, well, you have to work hard and work smart. If you want to be healthy, you have to live a healthy lifestyle. If you want to learn, you have to study well from a good teacher, love your subject, and all this type of thing. So everything has a proper means. So then the question should be, prayer delivers what? Prayer is a means to what? So, what is Bhagavan's role in my life if he's not a wish fulfiller? Bhagavan's not Santa Claus. I thought, when I come to Mandir, I was taught Bhagavan is Santa Claus. You go and you bribe him a little bit. Here are 3 agarbatti, which I bought for a few dollars. Now you give me back $1 million. Let me have a little transaction. So he's something between Santa Claus and a businessman. And his business is what? To smell agarbatti. None of this makes sense, eh? This is all what you call cheap things. Shortcuts in life. This is not really what we have. This is not what sustained our grandparents. They didn't come with Ramayana in their hand and walk in the cane field with this type of idea. They came with something else. Their faith was greater. So what is that thing? It is like this. Do you know that people who have education are just as likely to be criminals as people who don't have education? Did you know that? In fact, the people with education are bigger criminals because they know how to do bigger things. Correct or not? Bigger corruption. So education doesn't make you a useful person to society, and a criminal, finally he damns himself, isn't it? He's always looking over his shoulder and finally gets caught. If not caught in this life, next life. Did you know that rich people are not always good people? Did you know that rich people are not happy people? They're just as likely to be sad and worried and feel like they don't have as anybody else. Did you know that? If you don't know that, please look carefully around. We have gone and sat with rich people and poor people and educated people and less educated people, and we see all the time when they're alone and they're sitting with you and there's nobody else to hear, that's when they whisper, you know, my life is not so good. I have 3 cars parked in my 3-car garage, but I have real troubles and sadness. And their sadness is no different than anybody else. It's more actually because they can't show. They have to put on a good face. So, see this thing. My point is, happiness, peace of mind, strength of character, these things don't come from studies, and they don't come from wealth, and they don't come from health. They come from prayer. Your relationship with the Lord. If what you need as a human being is you need both a great capacity that you make useful in the world and a great inner character to enjoy that and make good use of it and all that kind of thing. See, 2 men get paychecks on the way home, right? This is the old times, and you can now go straight to the bank, right? But in the old days, 2 men get paychecks. That day, half money gone where? One man will take it to the rum shop and spend. Oh, and bring only half home, correct? Well-known thing. At least that's what I used to hear. You would tell me if it used to happen. Right? You can know which day will be the loud day and rambunctious day at the rum shop. That means to say that wealth came in his hand and it was only used to bring that person down. If you're going to have wealth and use it for something good, you have to have a strong character like that. Yeah? That's alright. Sweetie pie. That's the nature now. Crocodile tears. Don't worry about it. Right. Okay. So the point is like this. Very simple. Right? Let me sing. Shri Krishna Sharadri. Shri Krishna Sharadam Mama. Shri Prayer in Hinduism is what we call invocation. The word is invocation. Say that? When we fold our hands, what we're doing actually is not begging or asking. We are expressing our love and our gratitude for what we have. This is the basic prayer. If you see all the meanings of the prayers you chant in Hinduism, there's no begging in them. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva. You're my mother, father, learning, wealth, and my everything. If you pull away for a second, I will cease to exist. Where in that is there any ask? There's no ask. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. In that, where is there ask? Oh Lord, you are infinite in all ways. There's no asking in our prayer. If we ask for the benefit of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha. Let everybody be happy and healthy like that. If we ask this for everybody. So by bowing my head, by offering worship, by chanting praise of the Lord, what I am doing is I'm invoking capacities within myself. A capacity to be grateful, a capacity to be content, a capacity to be aware and alive, like that, and alert. Those capacities you need to enjoy what you have. Mine is that. It is like this. This is the simple example. When I was a little boy, I went to the local Chinese shop. You know, where you buy all little things? And I bought a boat to float in the tub. Plastic boat, sailboat. And I was dreaming about all the ways I would play with that sailboat. White and red, it was white and red happened to me. Then, when I got home and I sat in the tub and I was ready to play, you know what happened? I put it so in the water and it went, it fell over like that. I put it so again and it went, it fell over again. I keep making the boat stand up straight and it keeps. That's because whoever designed it in China designed it for looks only. A boat to stand up straight, and it had a big, tall, white mast. You know what is a mast? a long stick that comes in the middle of the boat, and on that you put the sail. And the wind takes the sail and pushes the boat fast. And if you have a bigger mast, a taller stick on the boat, you can put a bigger sail. And if you put a bigger sail, you can go farther and faster. And if you have a little stick, then you can only put like a sheet, like a bed sheet. And then your boat goes put. It can't go very fast, right? So the bigger the mast, the bigger the sail, the more powerful the boat is, right? So if you want a powerful boat, you have to put a big mast. But there's a second part of the boat which is not seen. It's called the keel. It's the part that is under the water. And if you check and see racing boats, what they're like, they have a keel and they have a fin also. It goes way down. Like a shark fin, but going down. So the part below the water is bigger and deeper than the part that is up top. Otherwise, that boat will fall over. It won't float, it won't go. In the exact same way, your grades and your health and your wealth and all of that, that's like the mast. With that, you can do much in this world. But if you don't have a strong, humble, pure personality inside, all that will just serve to topple you over in life. So prayer makes the inside strong and bright and capable. So if you make a mistake, if you fall down, if you fail, you get right back up and do it again. You're not, what will people think of me? This, that. You don't have those problems because you have Bhagavan in your life. So prayer is strength. This is what it is for. That's why universally everybody says in Guyana, I know everybody tells me, I tell my children when they get up in the morning, first thing they do is they have to go and pray. I don't know if they do that now anymore, but you go and throw that. Or pour first Surya Bhagavan. Why? Because first thing in my life is my relationship with the Lord, my gratitude, my place in this world, what I have to achieve. I have to do something for others. And that kind of deep personality, now you want to give that person knowledge, isn't it? You want to give him position. Let him grow up to be great. Prayer is what makes the greatness inside. That's why we need prayer. Okay, that in short, and there's lots more to be said. Now, I just told that as a commercial break before the chapter. Because the chapter is about Bhagavan, and we have all different types of ideas about Bhagavan. So now you know a little bit more about why we pray. We pray to make the insides great. We pray to invoke great things within us. And then we can add all the knowledge and all that thing on top. See, you want a president of Guyana who is selfish and insecure and worried about his future, or you want a president of Guyana who is selfless and secure and not concerned with what other people will say. Which one you want? The second one or the first one? The first one? No, the second one. The selfless one. You want selfish or selfless? Selfless. You want someone who's insecure about what everybody will say, or secure? Secure. Like that, isn't it?
Concerned about his people.
No, he's selfish. He is, but he's concerned about himself more. I'm not talking about anybody, eh? I'm just talking about option A and option B. Nobody in particular. My point is, the world wants someone. The world wants to promote someone who has gold inside. And that gold doesn't come from school, and doesn't come from grades, it doesn't come from health, it comes from my relationship with the Lord. So you make yourself more worthy every morning. Like that. Okay, so prayer is basically to immunize you from all the difficulties in life. But you still have to go out and do your life. You have to live your life. Like that. Okay, so this much having been said, now let us get a little bit into the chapter. Right. This chapter is not about the individual, it is about Bhagavan. Let us chant the very first verse. Now, a few other transition points are there, important things to share. The meditator who has been following along over the chapters will ask, well, why suddenly now I have to think of Bhagavan? I've been just meditating on myself the whole time. Well, there's one nice answer for that. In meditation, we send our mind inside to find the Lord that is seated in our heart. But that Lord who is seated in your heart is infinite. The Lord is always infinite, never finite. And we are trying to take a finite mind and send it to embrace something that is infinite. Something finite can embrace something infinite. No matter how elastic that rubber band is, if you stretch it to infinity, it will break. So we only get that final beatitude of meditation by the grace of Bhagavan. So remembering the Lord is essential. Having a relationship with the Lord is essential even for the meditator. So that is also another reason why this chapter begins. Another reason why this chapter begins is because we have different types of yogas, different strokes for different folks. In Hinduism, the section about Bhagavan is called, for us, is called bhakti. Bhakti means devotion. Devotion. Bhakti means devotion. Right. Now, not everybody likes devotion. Many people who are not here today don't like devotion. I don't want to go and hear bhajan, play bajira, sing about the Lord. That doesn't do it for me. I'll come beforehand and help cook. But to sit and hear bhajan and all that, that's not my thing. Some people are like that or not? I mean, they like to do something, but to sit and hear about Bhagavan or hear stories or bhajan, they don't enjoy that. Correct or not? So what? Those people don't belong in Hinduism or what? No, we say different strokes for different folks. We have different things each type of person can practice. Then there's another type altogether. They're not interested in action, doing anything for anyone. They're not interested in using their heart to express love and all that. They're not interested in that also. They're interested in some idea. They want to know. Explain this for me. Explain why we're here. Explain what's going on in my life. Explain why the universe is being created. Different types of people are there. So when the one who wants to do stuff comes to the mandir, by the time he crosses the gate, he's already picking up some garbage and moving that thing and clearing the way and saying, Mom, I have to brush this wall needs to be painted. He's doing that. The one who comes with a heart, he might see that the wall needs to be painted and this and that and all that kind of thing. But if you play some nice bhajan loudly and all that, then he might pick up a paintbrush. But you just come without playing bhajan and singing and there's no heart, and I don't want to do that. I want to come to the mandir and just sing and enjoy and laugh and hear stories of Bhagavan. That I like. Well, the one who wants answers to questions, he doesn't see the gate also. Let alone anything on the ground. He just comes in, his mind only in the clouds. He has some questions, some ideas. He's just waiting for that bhajan to finish. Get to the point now, get to the point. Intellectual type. So we have different things for all types. We have karma yoga for those who are action-oriented and bhakti yoga for those who are oriented for the heart. So now Bhagavan is getting into the next section where it's about bhakti. What is this bhakti all about? And finally we have jnana yoga for that who's really dry intellectually. But let me tell you something else also. These three yogas, all of them require each other. Very important thing. In order to make up your mind to come to the mandir to do some seva, you have to do some thinking. Is it better for me to spend my time this evening in the hammock? Or to get out to the hammock and go to the mandir and do something? So some thinking is involved or not? Thinking is involved. You can't say karma yoga has no thinking. Bhakti yoga also, thinking is involved. And that's what we're going to get into now. Right away, Bhagavan is going to appeal to your intellect for all those who have a large heart for the Lord. He's going to explain himself to you in words. I want to know about the Bhagavan that I have in front of me. And finally, I just said why the Jnana Yogi who is meditating needs to also surrender to the Lord. Now, children who are there, look here at Bhagavan Shri Krishna. What color is he? This one is Shiva, Bhagavan Shiva. Then Narayana, Lakshmi is there. And in between you see Bhagavan Krishna with a flute. What color is he? When you look up at the sky, what color is it? When you look out into the ocean, well, not here in Guyana. But if you go a little further out from the coast, what color is the ocean? Blue. Anything that tends towards infinity is blue. Have you noticed? So they paint the Lord blue. Actually, in Puranas and all that, Krishna is black. Black. But because the human bias, I mean, I don't like black, I would paint it blue. But really he's black and it's beautiful. Because the black, when you look out into space, which goes on forever, and in which you can't see what is there, but what is there? What color is that? Yeah. So he's dark, let's say. Or called Ghansham, with dark, cloudish color. But that he tends towards infinity. And he's usually wrapped in a dhoti. Have you seen Lord Krishna? The dhoti is what color? Not this dhoti, I mean nice dress here today, but his classical dress is what color? Do you know? Think back to pictures you've seen, maybe at home, stories. He wears pink, purple, tie-dye, rainbow cupcakes. What is his dress?
Orange or yellow?
Yellow, right. Balaji, spot on. Yellow. He wears a yellow dhoti. And if you look at the horizon, you see land is generally that yellowish color. Land. And the sky is that blue color. So his form itself indicates that he is the Lord of the whole universe and he is everywhere. And when he takes a little form, he's giving a sign in his color coding. Here in this universe, you will have a sentient, infinite being clothed in matter. Okay? I am the infinite Lord. Lord Krishna has infinite. And my clothing, so you can see me, is matter. Matter means what? Everything we see around us. Eh? So he's more than the Bhagavan who was born in Mathura. Taken to Gokul and all that. He's more than that. So he's going to tell about himself. Let us see now how he begins this chapter. You want to hear about him? Yes. What he says about himself? Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Different tune. Your line, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Can you do that? So, I have a mic and it's a competition. I can be so loud with this mic, but you all have so many more voices. So you can be more loud, and Panditji will tell who's louder. Right? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. will sing one line of the verse, and you will sing Hare Krishna, okay? Maya Sakramana Bhata Yoga Bhagavan now says, "Oh Arjuna," he calls him Partha. Partha. Arjuna, in this, his friend who's on the battlefield, who needs advice, that Arjuna, has many different names. And in our tradition, you also have many different names. We have that habit of giving lots of names, right? Like, of course, you have one name at school, then you have one name at home, then your auntie has a different name for you, isn't it? Yeah, fancy name. And Guyanese names are so good, you know, the biggest man in the village, they call him Smalls, little man. Right? And the smallest guy in the village, they call him Tall Man. And? Like that. Lal becomes Lalwa. Right? The different names you make. Like that, Arjuna had many, many names. And that's part of our tradition. The names that we have for Arjuna all have great meanings also. So one of them here is Partha, son of Pritha. But Bhagavan chooses the name relevant to that verse each time. So we can say Partha means a son, a person of this world, you and I. Means other names he has is like Dhananjaya, oh conqueror of wealth, but that doesn't apply to you and I. At that time he's saying, look, there's some great wealth I'm about to give you, now conquer this also, like that. Or Mo Mahabaho, strong-armed one, powerful one. Means now I'm challenging you to understand this next idea. So you'll call a name to inspire him each time. So he calls him, that's one thing you can do. Anytime any verse comes and he calls his name, oh, what is Lord Krishna trying to say on the side? It's a nice tradition. Oh, Bharata means all of us who are seekers on this path. Listen to this. Tat Shru, listen. Bhagavan's instruction. Listen carefully. Okay? What? To what? Nyasyasi. I'm going to explain to you me. I'm going to tell you about me. How? No, you listen. You know. That's correction. You listen, Shrinu. How you should listen? Listen to me in such a way that you come to know, Nyasasi. Yatha Nyasasi. That you come to know. Now this is very instructive also. I know I'm going slowly, but this is very relevant for us. Listen in such a way that you come to know. So there are many ways to listen. Like Mom always says, how many times have I told you? She asked one boy, how many times have I told you, close the gate when you come in? Let the gate open again. The boy responded, Mom, that makes 22 times this week. So he's been counting but he's not been closing the gate. And then vice versa. Parents don't listen to children also. That boy wants to tell you something. And even though he usually has nothing to say, he might have something. Listen now. Don't just ignore. Because of lack of listening, there's usually no transfer of knowledge. Husband and wife is worse. Husband and wife, they don't usually talk to each other. They talk at each other. No one is listening. The only one listening is the neighbor. But in the house, nobody listening to anybody means to say that, now, so what? Arjuna wasn't listening in chapter 6 and he has to remind, Krishna has to remind him, now listen again? No, not like that. See, one boy was not listening at the back of the class. And the teacher said, Raju, no, not Raju. Raju was my example. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Power of the name of Lord Krishna. So Bhagavan now says, listen in that way that you're going to come to know. And what am I going to explain to you? Me. How? I'm going to explain to you me, myself totally. I'm not going to leave anything out. You're going to understand me completely. And asamshayam, you're going to understand me without any doubts, any vagueness, confusion. Nothing will be remained to ask about when I'm done explaining. So you're going to understand fully about the Lord of the universe who is infinite. But now, if you miss it while listening, can you make up for it? If someone is showing you how to patch prasad, you know, and for a second you look away, right at the critical moment, you know, then they come back and say, I missed it. What can I do now to learn? Well, you miss it. You can't do anything now thereafter. Means listen and catch it. If you want to do something after you can think. This is very essential to our tradition. In our tradition, knowledge is passed down by listening. And while being said, it has to be caught. If you miss it at that time, what will you do after? You missed it. You wait for the next time. Listening is very important in our tradition, the power to listen. And if you listen carefully to anybody, actually they'll tell you more than they want to tell you. You can listen and hear so much, but knowing how to listen is a big, big, big skill. Now Lord Krishna tells how to listen to a teacher. How to listen to a teacher? See this thing. And in this case, how to listen to the Lord. Maya saktamana partha yogam yunjan madashaya. Listen with 3 qualities. Quality number 1. You must have love. Your mind must be fixed and attracted towards the Lord. Like that. Means to say, you're never going to get bored of listening to this chapter. Because you're interested. You like it. Means, just like how when you sit to watch your favorite show, if someone comes to bother you or comes with some important word or your belly starts to grumble or something starts to happen, you put it out, not now. Now I love this and I'm not going anywhere until this is over, like that. So just like we have love, just like a greedy man has love for his wealth, he never gets tired of thinking how much I have in the bank, how much more will I get. Like, he never gets tired of that. In the same way, you should listen. I'll never get tired of not hearing about you. And if you don't have that quality, develop it. Not hard to develop. Go on thinking about why my life would be so much better if my mind would buzz like a bee around the story of Bhagavan. Like a bee buzzes around a flower. Like that. So our heart can, like how you love anything, you love this. Then, yogam yunjan. Also, you must be ready to do whatever it takes to understand, to do whatever sadhana is required, to absorb yourself in that. So a readiness means to say, if it is that you have to come to 4 satsangs to catch the whole chapter 7, for instance, you're ready to come. No, I can't come. Nobody at home to look at the dog. Nobody at home to look at the house. Who will stand and look at the house? Nobody at home to look at the grandchildren. Who should be at home to look at the grandchildren? The parents. See, some grandparents are really nice. They look at grandchildren. I raised my children and I grew from that. So now their turn to raise their children and they should go from that. If I look their children so they can go and work and get more money, then I rob them actually. I rob them of a chance to learn what that child came into their house, didn't come into my house. That child needs to give problems to them, not to me, so they grow. I rob them of that chance. And I spoil 2 generations by sitting here and looking after this. I spoil my children, and obviously I spoil my grandchildren because I'm not going to be tough on them like I was on mine. So I refuse. When it comes time to look grandchildren, I'm going satsang. I'm in a different stage of life now. Now my life is about satsang and seva. That is someone who really remembers what this tradition was all about. But then capitalism sneaks in and says, can I have a free babysitter in the form of my grandparents? So I can go in, because what else? And they what they call? Blackmail you also. Into? But that's not your role. I'm going satsang. But no, nobody's there to go look at the grandchildren. So means yoga yunjan, I'm ready to do whatever it takes now to learn what is about to be said about you, Lord. Finally, Madashaya, you are my support, you are my refuge. Do you know? Now, how many people feel like Bhagavan is their support? Their refuge. Now, this doesn't need to be just for children. I mean, just for adults. There are many, many stories of great children who understood Bhagavan is my refuge. From childhood, they knew that. So this is for everybody. Right now, what is your refuge? For some people, it is the chocolate cake in the fridge. For some people, it's the prasad when I go home. I go home and put up my feet, lick my fingers. That, when I get that, everything is fine. For some people, it is their bank account. For some people, it is their spouse. For some people, it is their job. For some people, it is the letters after their name. They take refuge in something in this world. When I have that, everything will be fine. In this, I get my shelter and protection. And parents teach their children, your refuge is not Bhagavan. Your refuge is in your marks. As long as you get good marks, everything will be fine. And parents, is it true? Does every child who gets good marks turn out to be great saints and sages and peaceful and happy and all that kind of thing? No, it is a lie. One's refuge is what? Actually, really speaking, Bhagavan has always been and always be our refuge. You just have not thought about it. Whatever you say is your refuge today. Suppose you say, my parents are my refuge. When life is tough, I go to them. Where did you get them from, those parents? Well, I came and they were already here. I didn't make them. Where did they come from? Nature made them, isn't it? You got them from Bhagavan, that's how you got them. And if they get taken away, or by dint of time and all that, you will have another refuge from the Lord. The Lord is the one who gives you every other refuge. So just to remember that, when I depend on anything, is to take Lord as my refuge. And today I'm sitting on the Singhasan, and the Singhasan is jiggling, but it's strong. And the fact that it didn't break is not because of good construction. It's because of Bhagavan is my refuge. Means he decided not to. If I have built a Singhasan for somebody else in the past, and that thing broke while they were sitting on it, well, I have karma for this thing too. But Bhagavan will give that karma to me right when I need it. So he's my refuge when I'm sitting, and he's my refuge when I fall. So I just took it as an example. This is one of the best singhasanas we've had. There's nothing wrong with this. Like that, right? If a person thinks like that, then they take Bhagavan as their refuge. And in this gaining of the knowledge, there's only one refuge. There's no other means but listening to what Bhagavan is going to say. So Bhagavan is the means and Bhagavan is also the goal. Like that. So how to listen? Now, this can be applied in your school life. When I go to school, if I want to understand what the teacher is going to say, one, I have to love the subject and love the teacher. Love is required. And if you don't love the subject and you don't love the teacher, find a way. Well, I don't like math. I don't like maths. If you don't come to love it, you'll never learn it. Okay, I know you're tough, but you're going to help me make some good contribution in the world later on. I know you're tough, but I talk to you at night, okay, X, I don't know what you mean, but I don't think you're in the right spot, because the teacher put an X beside that. So I'm going to move this X to the other side and see what happens. And you build a relationship. Love is required. Then, ready to do whatever is required to learn. Enthusiasm and zeal. 2. And finally, Bhagavan is my refuge. I'm going to put in all my effort and what happens will happen. I'm not going to take stress. These 3, you have them, you will learn. You will learn. Just by listening. So become that kind of person. When someone's speaking to you, see, people who know how to listen, they give a sign to the speaker also. Have you seen that? When someone looks at you and pays full attention with love and readiness to act on what you're going to say, the speaker's wait a minute, let me choose my words correctly. Wait. Because you're listening. I put in more effort and you get the knowledge like that. Or your other option is to kind of have your brain on half mode. Not really listening. So things you don't learn anything really. You get half knowledge all the time. So 3 qualities were there, how to listen. Okay, now, my time has gone and we have covered 1 verse. And our run rate is 6 verses and over. 6 verses a day. So I have left myself in a precarious position tomorrow at Port Morant Monday. If you want to see how to make runs, to come tomorrow to Port Morant and also listen to what Bhagavan has to say. 7 p.m. tomorrow is satsang. Bhagavan will continue now and give the most mind-blowing explanation of how he is this whole universe. Generally we think we have a hard time understanding how the grass and the tile and the sky and the birds and the bees and the cows and all that is Bhagavan. We hear it, we don't get a clear idea. Well, Bhagavan is going to break it down and explain that. Then he's going to explain even more things you can't imagine. But when great rishis who know how to listen hear that, man, they become realized. That kind of thing is going to tell. That will go on from tomorrow. Thank you to the warm welcome and organizing satsang for Padre Raju again and Andre. Such a great job. We felt very wonderful being here, and I'm very happy to have a chance to speak to the children. Right? A few short announcements before we have Aarti. So, Chinmay Mission is a teaching organization. And like what you saw here today, we teach the scriptures in English to the next generation so they can understand. That's what we do. And we teach at all different ages also. Classes begin for moms with children in the womb. Because in our Shastra, the child in the womb can learn more than an adult. Then from 1.5 years old to 4, this class is for toddlers, and the mom, they sit together and all the impressions on the child, that there is a a lord in this universe, that you have a great goal, that you should stand up and be strong. All that is passed on to the child while in the mom's lap, singing like that. It's a different way of learning. Then when they get a little bit older, they want activities and games. When they get older, they want to debate you. When they get older and they're in their teens, they want to debate the topics now. And then when they become new parents and they're in university, like that, classes for every age, different topics. And if anywhere here in Berbice is open and willing, we are here to serve the community. So any chance we get to come and teach, we get excited about that. We come volunteer and teach anyway, anyhow. So that is what we're doing here in Chinmay Mission. This 108 nights of Bhagavad Gita is going on across Guyana, and it finishes on May 3rd, which is a Saturday. Right? May 3rd, first Saturday in May at 5 p.m. in Georgetown at the Mahatma Gandhi Youth Cricket Grounds. We're going to have a big finale. So it would be wonderful if a few persons from each mandar come. Maybe organize a bus or a car or something. Everybody come and we all meet up there, and a huge group of satsangis get together for the final night of this Bhagavad Gita. It'll be a grand event. So please, the warm invitation to everybody to please come on that Saturday at 5 p.m. If also you want to send someone else to Monrepos village, where the ashram is, to bring back a tasty treat called pitsoti, you can do that on Saturday, March 8th. Saturday, March 8th at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Swamiji, Swami Prakashanandaji, is going to be making something called pitsoti. That is a mixture of pizza and something from Trinidad called pepper roti. Pepper roti is a huge roti, like that they make at the end of a wedding. And they stuff it with hot pepper and other things. And then you can imagine something like a clap roti-ish, but filled with pepper and other things. So they mix that with a pizza and cook it on a big tawa. So if you want to come and try something different and fun, you can send someone to go and bring back a few piece pizzoti for us to try, right? It's a fundraiser for the ashram. Like that, we have funds to come and drive and do everything like that. Then we have a camp at the ashram from July 14th to August 1st, 3 weeks, teaching Bhagavad Gita to kids. So if a group from here wants to come for a week or come for 3 weeks, we can organize a transportation, right, back and forth like that. So if anyone is interested, come and learn Bhagavad Gita. If also here in the mandir you want to have a weekend camp or anything like that for the kids, then let us know. We're here to help. In Chinmay Mission, we have something called the Vedanta course also. For somebody who wants to study the scriptures systematically in its original Sanskrit and not get bits and pieces here and there, but get a real fundamental understanding in the proper Guru Shishya Parampara style, Gurukul style. That is what this course is. And in Chinmay Mission, that allows people to thereafter go out and serve the community as doing this type of pracharak work, or as brahmacharis or swamijis. That is the course that is required. But it is a very intense course. It is 2 years at the ashram, no holidays. Classes start at 5:30 in the morning and they end at 8 p.m. at night, sometimes later. All day, every day. No phone, no internet, no going home, no family coming to visit you. It's just immersive, intense study. That type of intense course where you study Sanskrit and the scriptures from the ground up is offered by Chinmay Mission, and it will be happening again in October. So if you know anyone who's interested, you please pass the message on. You never know who might be interested to do that type of thing. They just come from anywhere. So we're just spreading the word. Classes are going on also online. So it will have youth classes online also for pre-teens going up. So you can check out Facebook for that. Right. So those are the announcements. Now we'll have, let me tell you about the books that we have there, right? The books are stories from our scripture, for children, stories from our scriptures that have been made with pictures and the proper explanation and ideas in English. And they are meant, many of the smaller ones are meant to read every day at home to the children. The parent reads it to the child learns it from memory. And when they get older, without them knowing, they have a deep love or impression from that story. Like one round about Ganesha. You know the story where Ganesha goes around his parents? Instead of his brother Kartikeya who goes around the world. Well, that is turned into a picture book. And you read it every night to a young child again and again and again and again. Because they don't know they're learning about how to worship and love parents. But that goes inside. Like that. And every one of the stories and different stories and that type of thing is there for children. And then smaller books are there for adults. Things you could read on the way home tonight. Conquering the mind. In the time it takes to scroll in the evening, you'll finish one book. And then there are bigger books in Sanskrit and English. And the best one there is the red Bhagavad Gita from Swami Chinmayanandaji. Every verse explained. Impeccably. Alright. So those books are there, please see. And if you only brought Aarti money, please put it in the Aarti thali. And on another day, meet us somewhere and you can get books. Right? Okay. Now we'll have Aarti.
Everybody kindly stand for concluding Aarati.
Hare
Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadvajaha Mangalam Pundarikaksham Mangalayatano Hari Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Shri Satya Sanatana Dharma ki Har Har Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev